The detective's voice still carried that quiet authority I remembered from the night I was shot. "Mr. Hale, I need you to come to the station. We found something." His tone didn't fit the words. It wasn't routine. It was careful, almost reluctant. I sat there in my truck, parked outside the rehab center where I spent the last year learning to walk again. The scar under my ribs still ached when I breathed too deeply. But that pain was familiar now, predictable, unlike her voice. That night in the hospital, I woke before she knew it. She was standing beside my bed, whispering to the nurse. "I wish he'd died. The life insurance is $3 million." The words didn't feel real at first. They hung in the air like smoke, too thick to breathe, too slow to fade. I kept my eyes closed, my pulse steady. Pretending to sleep was easier than facing the truth. A week later, divorce papers arrived. No note, no visit. Just her signature in clean, elegant ink. Now, a year later, the detective's call reopens something I thought I'd buried. And part of me knew, whatever he'd found wasn't about the robbery. It was about her. I walked into the precinct like a ghost revisiting its own crime scene. The detective looked older, heavier. He avoided my eyes when he handed me a small evidence folder. "This came up when we closed the case," he said. "Thought you'd want to see it." Inside, crime scene photos, statements, and a report I hadn't read before. Timeline inconsistencies, witness notes, and one detail that hit harder than the bullet ever had. Her phone was traced at the scene. She told police she was home that night. But the timestamp on her text, "Be safe, baby, come home soon," was sent from a tower less than 2 blocks from the store I was shot in. I looked up. "You're saying she was there?" He hesitated. "We think she might have known the suspects. One of them, Colder, was her coworker." The name twisted something inside me. Colder. The man she'd mentioned once, casually. "He's harmless," she'd said. Harmless. Right. I thanked the detective, signed a release form, and left without another word. Outside, the winter air burned through my lungs. My mind was still, my pulse calm. But under that quiet, something darker moved. Slow, deliberate, patient. Over the next few weeks, I retraced everything. Her calls, her messages, her social media activity. Nothing screamed guilt, but everything whispered it. She'd deleted a number from her contacts 2 days after the shooting. I restored it. Colder. I checked old surveillance footage from the store, the moment before the robbery. A black SUV idling across the street. Driver unseen. Same model she drove. My hands didn't shake. Not once. I hired a private investigator under another name. I told him I was writing a book about betrayal and needed a case study. Within a week, he confirmed what I already suspected. Colder was alive, living in Florida, driving a new car bought under her name 6 months after the shooting. I stared at the photo of them on the beach, her laugh frozen mid-frame, his hand on her hip. And I felt nothing. No rage, no heartbreak, just precision. I wasn't after revenge. I was after clarity. And clarity requires silence. I called her a month later, said I wanted to meet, for closure. She arrived at the cafe exactly on time, wearing the same perfume she wore the night I was shot. She smiled like she'd already won. "You look good," she said. "Didn't expect you to recover so well." I placed a thin envelope on the table. No words. Inside, a printed bank record. Transfers between her account and Colder's. Dates aligned perfectly with the shooting. Her smile faltered. Then the color drained. "You don't understand," she stammered. "I didn't—" "Don't lie," I said quietly. The tone surprised even me. Cold. Even final. For the first time, she looked small. Cornered, not by anger, but by truth. I stood up, left the envelope, and walked out before she could finish her sentence. The silence behind me was louder than any confession. 2 weeks later, the detective called again. Calder's body had been found in Florida. Single gunshot, execution style. Her name was all over his finances. Her prints, her car, her insurance policy. I didn't ask questions. I didn't need to. I watched the evening news. Her face flashed across the screen, disheveled, terrified, handcuffed. Local woman arrested in connection with former lover's death. The world finally saw her the way I'd always felt her, empty beneath the mask. I turned off the TV, and for the first time in a year, the house was quiet. The detective called one last time. "You okay, Mr. Hale?" I told him the truth. "I'm fine." He hesitated, maybe expecting more, but there was nothing left to say. I stepped outside. The night air was clean, cold. Somewhere, far away, a siren wailed and faded. The scar under my ribs still ached, but differently now. No longer a wound, just a reminder. She got what she wanted, just not the way she planned. And me, I got what I needed: silence.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.